Most of you who are visiting this channel are already seriously questioning the common sense of this world. The countless contradictions in this world that I have reported on my channel have revealed that the common sense that we use to live by is itself a lie or a malicious fabrication. The number of cases is so numerous that it makes you want to wrap your head around it. It was about the abnormal situation that started in 2020 and various stories about Bill Gates. There was a lot of evidence of election fraud that came to light in the US presidential election at that time. There is a connection between various abnormal situations related to children, in which Epstein, Johnny, Dee, etc., are officially acknowledged to be involved, and demons deep underground. But is Earth really round? Did Apollo really arrive on the moon? There are suspicions that come from a flat Earth. Although a jumbo jet plane is officially flying in the sky, with the equivalent of 8 tanker trucks of jet fuel, it is clear that this is physically impossible. When we examine the facts in detail, there is no doubt that the fabrication of history is a fact, and the problem is that virtually all history before the 1800s can be considered a fabrication. The demographic statistics of the 1800s, the abnormal number of orphans, the abnormal number of child workers, etc., make it almost irrefutable that humans would have been manufactured by cloning technology at that time. Wars and incidents where large numbers of people die are large-scale manipulations of people's minds, intentionally manipulating the consciousness of us common people and making them take responsibility for themselves and others. A number of discoveries have been made that overturn all kinds of common sense. This world is infested with beings who use abnormal malice, lies, and fabrications to manipulate us and push us into hell. It was large enough and reliable enough to make the beings realize that they were being treated well. In other words, this world is ruled, controlled, or at least greatly influenced by beings such as Satan, Lucifer, the devil, and Yahweh. And although it may be an outrageous story, the thing that these beings use as the most powerful tool to influence us, control us, and push us into hell is our food culture. It was. It is outrageous that the mothers, cafeteria ladies, and school lunch center ladies who have created a food culture designed to push us into hell and who firmly follow that food culture are unconsciously complicit in the devil's work. It's the situation. The fact that even this food culture is smeared with poison, lies, and fabrications with malicious intent is literally shocking to many people. However, from the beginning of the new era in 2020, you should have realized early on that medical care, the media, the government, and administration cannot be trusted and are openly lying. And if you look closely at the facts, you should know that this lie did not start in 2020 and that it can no longer be denied. And then there are all the lies, fabrications, malice, and corruption that I mentioned earlier. I have no idea why people think that food culture is an exception. Are there lies, fabrications, and malicious intent in the culture we have inherited? Consideration from such a perspective is essential. One theory is that Zoni is a curse that commemorates the banishment of Kunijotachi no Mikoto, a godlike figure who created Japan, and that all of his offal is consumed throughout Japan. Furthermore, in Christianity, there is a culture of eating bread and wine to represent the flesh and blood of Christ, and all churches curse the rite of sacrifice to the devil on the cross, where Christ was tortured and killed. Whether it's Zoni, wine, or bread, we, the common people, are still being forced to hurt and curse the existence of the Creator, God, through ritualistic actions that are clearly uncomfortable, even though we are not aware of them. Let me check again. Have you all noticed the messed up farce that started in 2020? If that's the case, why can we say that our history and culture up until now are all legitimate and good without lies? Rather, isn't this tradition of false, deceitful, and inflammatory brainwashing simply spreading as normal and commonplace for a long time? After all, our history began in the mid-1800s. Furthermore, our medical care dates back to around 1850, and from the end of the 1800s to the beginning of the 20th century, Rockefeller medical care was dominated by Rockefeller, who already had great power with oil money, is starting. To express this situation accurately, it can be said that from the very beginning, our medicine and medical care, from the very beginning, have been nothing more than a tool for realizing the malicious control of unhealthy people. The same goes for our food culture. I think most of you who watch this channel understand that the information on so-called history from the period before the 1800s is completely unreliable. Therefore, from our point of view, arguments and theories such as it's the Jomon, it's the Yayoi, it's the Nobunaga, it's the Ieyasu are frowned upon from the beginning, and discussions rooted in such things have no value whatsoever. I am very aware of this. That's why when we talk about the harms of rice and brown rice, there are endless comments from viewers who say, rice culture is Japan's ancient culture from the Jomon period, so it's not bad for you. The comments from brainwashed people who have never thought about things objectively are like, why would someone who doesn't even understand the content of this channel go out of their way to make harassing comments? It becomes very strange. So if you are concerned about the theory that rice is harmful, this channel has countless past videos so you can learn how the official history is fabricated. Please listen to this discussion carefully and make your own judgment. Please refrain from blocking opinions that are clearly incorrect, or responding to them with comments even though you know there is no way you will understand them, as it would be a waste of effort for both you and me. And so we live in this world of outrageous deceit, lies, corruption, and malice. And in the first place, we were good beings consisting only of souls and spirits, but it seems that we were angel-like beings who deliberately lowered our vibrations and reincarnated into this three-dimensional world. Reincarnation sounds good, but since the vibrations have been lowered and the person becomes a physical body, it can literally be said to be an angel's fall from heaven. Babies and small children often look like angels, and that's true, and they were probably angels until recently. And because of the nature of this Earth's surface as a physical world with a physical body located between hell and heaven, we who have fallen to the surface of this earth have the power to lead us to heaven and the power to fall to hell. We are forced to live our lives in the midst of this conflict. Furthermore, the surface of this earth is located between the heavens and hell, and the heavens are also not uniform, as represented by countless stars and constellations. So there are different origins. It is thought that these souls have been reincarnated in various places. When it comes to my classmates at school, there were some who were like angels, others who were just robots, and even some who were incredibly evil. This is because beings whose souls come from very different places are simply living in the same human body and are considered to be the same, but in essence, there are completely different consciousnesses scattered in one place. It can be said that it is an incredibly chaotic situation. In addition, our bodies themselves are not made up of a slight fusion of monkeys and plura, but are complex bodies created by merging the characteristics of countless animals such as fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. It is thought that it is a presence. It's not just a chaos where countless souls and races exist separately, but a single human body, and perhaps even the soul, is made up of all the souls of animals and stars mixed together on an individual level. It seems to be chaos. Therefore, even a single person can change over time, such as becoming cruel or becoming suddenly benevolent. I feel this kind of change myself, and I think you can also feel it from your own growth and changes. Indeed, it seems that we are a collection of eccentric souls who have been artificially created in an incredibly chaotic state and thrown into some kind of evolutionary experiment. There is no doubt that there are quite a lot of curious souls gathered on this earth, and in this world, there are quite a few beings who are clearly happy to be evil, depriving others of everything, and living their lives as wealthy, eugenic beings. And these beings keep our souls as low as possible and continue to exploit them as objects of exploitation. This is the Rockefeller medical care that I introduced earlier. Incidentally, Rockefeller himself seems to have managed his health with homeopathy. The other thing is food culture, which is at the very root of this world and has a great influence on us. Rice is given a special status in Japanese food culture. It is worshipped at festivals, and autumn festivals are held to celebrate the good harvest. It is also used as an offering to the gods, and sake is also made from rice, which is treated as a special offering to the gods. Rice is an entity that is given special status and authority in the name of Japanese religion. However, there is a high possibility that the very existence of Shinto and its gods is a malicious fabrication or a malicious authority set up to control us in the first place. The basis for this is the culture of sacrifice that is recognized throughout Japan. A typical example is suotaisha. Christianity and Judaism also have malicious intent for the same reason. This is because it is a religion about sacrifices, and it is a religion where sacrifices are performed openly. Furthermore, Christianity, Judaism, and Shinto are all related to the same Jewish race and are thought to be nothing more than mechanisms for enslaving humanity. You all know that these religious groups control the world and that they ruthlessly exploit, deceive, and take the lives of common people. In that case, is Japanese culture and American culture, which are supported by shrines in Shintoism, really something that can be trusted? Can't you see the structure? And without looking at its reliability, we know that rice, brown rice, wheat, noodles, bread, sugar, and sweets have the most serious negative impact on our health. If rice were truly a complete food, and if you could just eat rice and salt and get away with it, I might not have realized that Shintoism was suspicious in the first place. However, rice is clearly harmful to the body and is considered to be the #1 root cause of various ailments and diseases that we suffer from. The same goes for wheat. Both rice and wheat are special ingredients that are supported, recommended, and considered sacred foods by religions that refer to them as gods. What has been studied so far has made it clear that both this religion and God are quite suspicious and are the root of evil in the first place. There is no way that a God who proudly takes sacrifices is holy and good. I understand that there are some viewers who have a deep-rooted desire to blindly believe in their own brainwashed knowledge and life. But if we don't shake those stubborn roots in this day and age, there will be no turning back. It will be. Foods that have an excess of rice, brown rice, wheat, noodles, sugar, or carbohydrates are clearly harmful. It acts on the cranial nerves, slowing down brain function, causing rapid fluctuations in blood sugar levels and rapid secretion of large amounts of insulin, causing emotional swings. The drug-like withdrawal symptoms that you feel before you eat a meal, the withdrawal symptoms that make you feel hungry, are exactly like that. When we eat, we feel excessively happy and excited, but as time passes after the meal, the blood sugar level rises to an extreme level, and the secretion of intense insulin occurs, causing the blood sugar level to drop rapidly again. In addition to feeling unusually tired and sleepy, your digestive system is working as hard as it can to digest food, resulting in a lack of energy throughout your body. What appends is the intense hydrosiness you know after lunch, intense hunger due to withdrawal symptoms, excessive excitement due to the rise in blood sugar levels after eating, intense drowsiness due to the sudden drop in blood sugar levels. This series of mood fluctuations repeats every day, and the digestion of food consumes a tremendous amount of energy, leaving us exhausted. This is your daily life, and these fluctuations in mood are the root cause of developmental disorders in children and the root cause of manic depression in adults. That's why mothers of children with developmental disabilities, all of whom complain of developmental disabilities or symptoms of depression, routinely post photos of their favorite sweets on social media. This diet is completely related to developmental disorders, depression, and other mental illnesses. This carbohydrate has a sticky property and clings to the cranial nerves and blood vessels, inhibiting neuron transmission and blocking blood flow, causing stiffness, fatigue, and discomfort throughout the body. If this continues over a long period of time, it causes various types of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and is a direct cause of diabetes, cancer, and blood vessel and heart disease. In other words, sugar is the biggest and most powerful root cause of all mental illnesses, disorders, and deaths. Among the root causes of this, the one that occupies the most critical position for the Japanese people is rice, which has the highest status in both religion and God's blessings. In the end, rice is just a lump of carbohydrates that is no different from sugar, and brown rice is just a substitute for white rice, which is a lump of carbohydrates with a little bit of nutrients left in it, so it can be said to be the biggest problem as it is the cause of premature death and chronic disease. It is. Once again, what did you learn from the 2020 event? Maybe you learned that authorities lying? And didn't that authority find out that it was not only in 2020 that they started lying, but that they had been doing similar things before then? Why is food culture the only exception? And every year, many people are actually becoming obese, becoming sick, and actually dying from this dietary culture. I'm disappointed that people can't even engage in public speaking without being able to face facts like this. Let me repeat once again, it's like blind people who don't understand anything are writing nonsense in the comments section of this video, saying things like, Japanese rice culture is a tradition from the Yomon period, so there's no way it's bad for the body. Please stop acting without etiquette. Before that, please carefully watch the video that explains that the history that has been published countless times is a fabrication, so that you can think for yourself. As many people have written in the comments section, if you stop eating carbohydrates such as rice, you won't feel as tired in your daily life. In addition, unnecessary fluctuations in blood sugar levels will be eliminated, so your mood will be stable and you will be able to concentrate on your work and hobbies. Also, carbohydrate foods such as rice seem to have strange properties and tend to make your thoughts sticky. And if you eat a diet full of carbohydrates, you may feel jealousy, envy, evil thoughts, etc. They tend to suffer from things like anxiety. Of course, this kind of bad consciousness can be solved by the trauma note method that I usually advocate, but it is also strongly influenced by food, carbohydrates, rice, and wheat. I hope that you will protect yourself from these harmful effects of sugar, release your innate ability for inspiration, and live a new life according to God's will. By detoxing the toxins that have accumulated in the body and brain through fasting, restricting carbohydrates, and living a vegan lifestyle, you will be freed from fear, and you will be freed from vague indulgence and dependence. You will be able to rewrite your tendency to give up and acquire a different mindset than before, one that allows you to make your dreams come true. The minimum and maximum way to reach such consciousness is to normalize your eating habits. The final and best conclusion to normalize your eating habits is a vegan and low-carbohydrate diet. If you would like to learn more about this vegan carbohydrate restriction and trauma relief method using trauma notes, please register online using the link in the summary section of this video, and we will provide you with free information, so please feel free to register. But this is only for the Japanese audience. In addition, in the process, you will be able to participate in the Endo online salon, a community created only for people who aim to relieve such lifestyles and trauma. So today's last song is Kazumi's vegan song, Mukuro.
時を超える海風潮とムクロの波今私の間をすり抜けては嘆くうつろな瞳並ぶ鉄格子の国傲慢と裏切りを諦めで潰した愛と綺麗に飾ってどれだけの命詰めばやがて気づくのでしょうか血みどろの叫びすらも檻の向こうに隠して砕いてちぎって罪深き人の闇果て知らぬよ 冷酷な作業のようにどれだけの涙飲めば世界は変わるのでしょうか。ほんのひとさじだけの甘さにいつまでも勝てない従うばかりで心の安寧と言い訳の山見つめても今も続く残虐に険さしのべられずどれだけの命詰めばやがて気づくのでしょうか。血みどろの